We'd like to see George Lucas if we could.
When Empire Strikes Back came out, I was really looking forward to the fourth film, not the third film. I think ahead.
I relate to these characters, not in a psycho kind of way, but I just relate to these characters.
And all of a sudden, boom, this great big spaceship comes out from behind you over your head. I mean, you're there.
Flying through hyperspace ain't like dust and crops, boy.
Obi-Wan, kick your butt, kick your butt today.
This is quite literally this year's big ticket. It's a ticket for Episode 1 in the Star Wars series, The Phantom Menace. And if you look very closely, you'll see the date is for Thursday, the 3rd of June, 1999. There is a slight hitch, however. If you want to use this ticket, you'll have to fly to Australia because it's released there 6 weeks before it's released here in the UK.
If that wasn't bad enough, 27 other countries get it first, including movie-mad Bolivia, Uruguay, the Dominican Republic, Canada, South Africa, Israel, Thailand, and not forgetting Taiwan. We asked film distributors 20th Century Fox why the US usually sees a film first. Here are some of their reasons. Not even Tom Hanks can be in LA and London on the same night.
Premieres around the world are staggered to get the extra publicity that an opening night brings. So that's for their benefit, not for yours.
Distributors will delay a film's release until they can secure the most prestigious cinemas at which to present it. But little do the distributors know that far, far away in another part of the galaxy, Norwich actually, die-hard fans like Gary Moxon are planning to strike back.
Why on earth shouldn't we get it over here at the same time? The only thing is to buy a ticket, hop on that plane, and try and get to see it in the States.
The Force won't be with us in Britain until the 16th of July, 7 weeks later.
Supposedly, Carol Channing was all set to play Mofina Delantrios, the whirling dervish matriarch of the House of Delantrios, but I think they went for a real drag queen instead.
Mark Hamill, who of course was the big star in the first one, his son Nathan actually has a big part in this, is a bit part rather in this movie, and he just wanted to be in it, and so George Lucas put him in it. You may not catch that the first time around, but since a lot of people are probably going to see this movie about 15 or 20 times, these are the things they'll be looking for on the later showing.
But I personally heard about what's his name, Jake Lloyd. He was reportedly so stiff in rehearsals that the cast referred to him as Mannequin Skywalker. But as I say, I'm not the type to say things like that. I'm only reporting what I've heard.
It's always with me. Just like Star Wars is always in my mind and will always be a part of me. It's a part of me now, you know, so it can be seen visually.
It doesn't wash away, and it's gonna be a constant reminder of the greatest movies ever made and the greatest characters. I relate to these characters, not in a psycho kind of way, but I just relate to these characters.
Darth Vader is evil, but he's also good inside.
Of course, you know, you have to have Boba Fett no matter where you go, because this is the man right here.
The Jabba Has Me Now outfit, that's gonna feel good. I work at Toys R Us, and I get my hands on most of the toys. I actually pay for my tattoos with Star Wars toys.
So we have people waiting for Phantom Menace to be the first people in line, and they're waiting on behalf of Children for the Starlight Foundation, I believe. Anyone want a little womp rat here? Tell me exactly what you're doing.
We have sponsors so that every hour that you spend in line, that money is donated to Starlight Foundation.
And what's your whole setup? You got the whole website and
Yeah, this is the little chat room so people can find out what's going on at the little base camp here. And then we got our webcam here, and then we have another camera.
I'm being shot by every angle. We're asking some of the people out there in Cyberland if they want to ask me, Darth Vegas, some questions. And what is your name?
My name is Becky.
Becky. Becky on the keys, baby. Becky's got the magic fingers, got the special digits, yeah.
I have a question for you.
Interesting. So
Darth Vader, his favorite character.
Of course it is. Everyone knows that Darth Vader is the bestest character, the bestest and the greatest.
Do they pay you to do this?
Are they? Is he mocking me?
Job requirements for what you do.
Well, you get all the free womp rat you can eat. Womp, 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 womp. Now, Becky.
Yes.
They ever try to coerce you into giving away your ticket?
No, nobody's getting my ticket.
Now,
Nobody's getting my ticket.
would you feasibly sell your ticket for like $1 million? Becky,
too hard for this.
Becky, I like your style.
Thanks.
Becky's a sexy lady. Come on, Becky. Come on, yeah. See, now Becky, could you ever go out with someone who just surfs the stars like I do? You know, a member of the Galactic Space Patrol, someone as suave and as debonair as me. Darth Vegas.
Probably not.
No?
Yeah, I'm a simple girl.
Wow, man,
Small town girl.
I got dissed by Becky.
Greetings. This is your source for the inside dope on a Phantom Menace. If you don't want to know what's going to happen, please turn down the volume on your set and watch the lovely lassie shake her thing. Anakin Skywalker and his mother Shmi are slaves on Tatooine, where they work for Watto in a junkyard. Anakin builds a protocol droid that will become the fussiest robot of all time, C-3PO. Anakin has no apparent father. It is implied that he is a virgin birth.
No, actually, I remember actually seeing the trailer for it. Activate, I was just so excited. Like, what was that? What is that? I can't wait to see that. And then, of course, saw the film, thought it was great, and then just spent years and years after going,
was going to have old-time movie serials, wholesome action without adult situations. Besides, if George Lucas was going to have the White Queen bare her breasts, he would have cast Denise Richards. Point taken.
Apparently in 1978, Neil Young used Jawas on stage as part of his Rust Never Sleeps tour, and that caused a problem because George Lucas immediately sent him a cease and desist order, and he couldn't use them anymore. I hear there might be a new problem, though, because for VH1's next Diva concert, they're planning to have Mariah, Gloria, Celine, and some Ewoks.
Secrecy was so strict on the shooting of the movie that even the biggest actors involved, like Liam Neeson and Samuel Jackson, never had access to a full copy of it. Eventually, Liam Neeson was allowed to read the script in Lucas's office, but Jackson never was.
Here's something that I heard that I absolutely knew for a fact. When Reagan was president, would you believe while he was a sitting president, he was actually denied access to the ranch, George Lucas's ranch? I can't believe it.
I was given an assignment to infiltrate George Lucas's special effects studio, Industrial Light and Magic, and of course his more remote headquarters, Skywalker Ranch.
Is that ILM? What do you guys need to know?
Everyone who works around here is obviously a little bit paranoid.
Well, there's no way you're gonna get into past perception. We have a lot of security and they're probably gonna take away your tape.
Hey, folks. Hey, Nora. You guys got some ID, we'd really like to check it out, since you've been on our property.
Now that we were on private property.
But you were where we don't want you. imagine they would have pretty tight security there. George Lucas is very secretive. He doesn't want anybody on the set.
Nobody allowed on that.
Yeah. Nobody's allowed? Nobody's allowed? You're kidding.
No kidding.
Yeah, hi. We'd like to see George Lucas if we could.
We need to have an appointment.
Can we make one? Is it possible to have a tour of the ranch?
No, it's closed to the public.
Oh, here comes.
Turn the camera on. Oh, we're not.
Okay, they didn't arrest us, but there was no way they were going to let us into Skywalker Ranch. Unless, of course, I became one of them.
Skywalker Ranch? I don't know.
You're begging. I can't believe you're begging to get to Skywalker Ranch.
We're just passing over Skywalker Ranch. It appears as though George Lucas is out shooting up some kind of laser. We better turn back at this point. All right, Stormtrooper, get the hell out of my helicopter. Welcome, Stormtrooper.
Very excited about The Phantom Menace. The Star Wars saga is essential to the survival of humanity. Harry and Luke, and he's got them like the mustard flavored pants. Here's good old Chewbacca. Just get a load of this guy. They did a good job with Billy Dee. Yeah, this is Han Solo Hoth battle gear. He's probably my favorite Kenner action figure. Now he's fully armed and ready to go out and take care of some Imperial spies. Flying through hyperspace ain't like dusting crops, boy. To the phone. Hello? Is this 3PO? 3PO? Shut off all the garbage compactors on the detention level. Shut down all the garbage compactors on the detention level. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay. Who's this? I had some nice models when I was 7, 8 years old that I put together. I had an X-Wing fighter. But what I found exciting when I was about 14 was putting M80s in those babies and lighting them and blowing them up. How you doing, man? You mind if I sit down?
Okay.
So you're a big Star Wars fan, right?
Yep.
So you excited for the new movie, or?
Oh yeah.
Really? Well, tell me about it. What are you looking forward to?
The first time that I saw the trailer, I was in the Mad Village and I cried.
You cried?
Yeah. Because I've been waiting like 17 years for this. A lot of people have been waiting like 15 years since Return of the Jedi, but for me it's been like 17 years. Because when Empire Strikes Back came out, I was already looking forward to the fourth film, not the third film. I think ahead. And when Return of the Jedi came out, I was already thinking about like the third film, which is Episode 3, which is really the sixth film. And now that the first one's coming out, I'm thinking about Episode 7.
I can continue.
Yeah. So. And I had some rough times and stuff, like in like 1984, my dog ate Salacious Crumb. And I mean, you know, you can't get that anymore. You can't get it alone. You gotta buy the whole Jabba the Hutt playset to get Salacious Crumb. So I've had like a really tough time.
No, but seriously don't hit me with it, because I'll... Okay, but seriously, don't hit me with that, okay?
We meet again at last, Obi-Wan. When I left you, I was but a learner, but now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Darth.
Your powers are weak, old man. You should not have come back. you can't win. You can't win. Obi-Wan, kick your body, kick your body today. Obi-Wan, kick your body, in the man say. Obi-Wan, me say, today. Oh, I say, oh, my say. Obi-Wan, me gonna kick your butt today. You cannot win. If you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Me kicking butt, sugar.
I think the lightsaber has to be the most effective Star Wars weapon because it has magical powers. The others are just weapons that blow something away, but I mean, this lightsaber has magical powers, and we all need magical powers.
No. Yeah, I understand. I got a wife and kids too, but you don't see me out here stealing Imperial droids, now do you?
The genesis of Troops was an idea that derived from some friends of mine. After all of us watched Empire Strikes Back during the re-release, one of them told me, I said, you know, it'd be really funny if you crossed cops with Star Wars. I thought, yeah, it would be. And I worked at Fox at the time, and so I took the videotapes from cops out of our library, watched a couple of them, and wrote the script pretty much that night and the next morning. And in this video, we portray the stormtroopers as just average police officers, good guys that, you know, happen upon these bad situations. Whenever Luke is away from a sequence, it shows you what was happening when he wasn't there, why the Sandcrawler was attacked by stormtroopers, what happened to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, or when he gets back. And what we do is we leave our scene just before Luke arrives. Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen were part of a murder-suicide that evolved from a domestic dispute.
I've had it! I've had it with him! He keeps lying to Luke and me, and now Luke's run off and hasn't come back!
That's ridiculous.
They try to avoid any casualties, and Aunt Beru is the one that eventually ends up killing herself and Uncle Owen, so they really didn't do anything. In the Jawa sequence, the Jawas were basically a bunch of thieves, and they got a little out of line, and so they were placed back in line by the stormtroopers.
The important thing now is that we find their nephew, Duke, and make sure he's okay.
It's nice to watch because of all the great special effects. Lucas is a genius, you know. He makes things happen that are really good for a lot of people. So it's going to make him a lot of bread.
They came from near and far, drawn to Denver by two simple words, Star Wars. They arrived and they waited. They waited in sun and in rain. They waited inside and outside, but all the while they waited together.
The line sucks, we're out here in the rain, that sucks. But the show's kind of good inside there.
Maybe they only caught a glimpse of the next David Prowse, the next Mark Hamill, the next Anthony Daniels, and of course, of the new Pepsi cans. But after all the countless hours of waiting, they attained one precious thing. They got a taste of Episode 1 before you did.
People took it upon themselves to distribute the trailer themselves, so we didn't even know how many copies exist out there. Inundated with hits. We had so many hits we couldn't even count how many hits we had. My God, we've gotten 45,000 hits today. It's like a record for, you know, Hitbox. It became quite an instant classic. Watching South Park almost, you know, every week, every day when it comes on, we sort of made the connections, I think, sort of subconsciously, that there are these characters might work out in the Star Wars universe.
Oh my God! They killed Kenny! You bastard!
Juxtaposing those two, you know, pop cultures together just became this became like if it was meant to be.
I sense much fear in you.
We got so much response from Carbon being Yoda. We showed a couple of friends some of the original artwork before he was even animated, and they just, died laughing.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Lo and behold, on April Fool's Day, no less, we get this email from Comedy Central saying, oh, we love this, our lawyers love this, we want to put this on our website. A parody made by a couple of fans is being recognized as by an official source. It's like someone making a Star Wars movie and Lucas saying, oh, that's cool, we're going to call that Episode 7 or something. We're working on another parody, Park Wars B, we're calling it, but it's kind of cool that, people know your name out there, and it's just cool to know people, people appreciate your work.
Tonight, we're going to be unveiling our brand new Star Wars boutique. Behind those curtains is one of the widest selections of Star Wars merchandise that you'll ever see in your lifetime. No, guys, sorry, not till 12 o'clock tonight.
The front line has been here since 7. We all got here about the same time, about 8:30, and we're only 5 people behind, so it worked out pretty good.
I am excited, but only in my own way. This is the largest assortment of Star Wars product in the world, and this is the largest thematic presentation in the world.
Right now, the line is around the block.
3, 2, 1. Right this way.
It's going to be an expensive night. What are you going to do when you get to the cash register and they tell you you can only get 12?
I'll worry about it then.
I got what I needed. I'm happy.
This is about as great as we could have hoped for. We have tons of customers coming to the store. Everyone's having a fun time in there, and that's really what counts.
My name is Alex, and this is my collection.
I'm Jerry. This is my Star Wars collection.
Jerry sometimes considers us rivals.
Alex and I are not rivals. We're best friends, and I guess I got him started, and I created a monster.
They're same Luke. He has a short lightsaber, and he has a long lightsaber. He has dots on his hand, and he has stripes. There's a lot of different variations and a lot of mix-ups. I think, though, sometimes they're released purposely so that Lucas can make more money.
My favorite thing to collect would be store displays for 3 reasons. 1, they look so cool. 2, they're really cheap to collect. And 3, I'm not really supposed to have them.
The item that I really need to get is the Star Wars bedpan. No, there's no Star Wars bedpan. There's new toothpaste now, and these are the toothbrushes.
Star Wars breakfast cereal, you can see the French writing. This is from Canada.
I've wanted to insure my collection, but my mom says it's really not necessary.
I'm making hand puppets for the prequel.
So we're just gonna walk around with little puppets on our hand. We have Yoda and Obi-Wan so far, just not the heads.
Mom, hand me the Yoda head.
I sense much fear in you.
I'm really upset that they're waiting online already because it's gonna be really hard to get in.
And my biggest fear is that we won't get in first day and that some idiots will come out of the theater and ruin it for us.
But there's no way this movie can be bad. No way.
We're outside Hollywood Toys and Costume. Everyone loves it here. I'm feeling the power of Star Wars. I'm gonna go inside and hopefully get myself some new Star Wars paraphernalia. Can I get some help with finding some Star Wars stuff? Thanks. What's your name? Carlos knows what I need. Oh, we got some action figures. See that? Carlos, is it okay if I take this? Thanks. Okay, see, Carlos is really helpful. I don't think he realizes that I'm just going to be taking what I need here. Wait, real quick. Some of those, right? Right. Put that in the bag. That's fine. Oh, Shadows of the Empire. We had that one too. Carlos, make that face. Become him, Carlos. Become him. Carlos, do it. Carlos, who is that? Carlos.
This is you.
You know what? Can I see maybe if there's a Chewbacca costume? If you just...
Yes, we do.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Okay. Exit this way. See, it's telling me to go this way. Okay. All right. See you guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Carlos. See you guys.
Monsters out there, leaking in here, all singing in no power. When they use a thinking, we say
Here's a little spoiler that I like to tell about Jar Jar Binks, alien ne'er-do-well. Exiled from his people for his gangster behavior. By the end of the movie, he ends up the savior. Obi-Wan hates him, and so do I. An underwater Ewok with an Al Jolson vibe. He never stops talking, and that's not all. Liam Neeson dies, and so does Darth Maul. Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks. Obi-Wan hates him, so do I. Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks. What was Lucas thinking when he made Jar Jar Binks?
It's almost like if I don't understand football, I don't understand America. I'm not American. If I don't watch football, same goes here. If I don't watch Star Wars, like I'm left out. I'm not a full American.
Somewhere in the universe, the ultimate evil stirs. But three legendary heroes have come together and will lead the battle to save the galaxy from the menace of the dark side.
Right after lunch.
Play Defeat the Dark Side. Collect cool Star Wars game medallions and you could win cash prizes, even $1 million. Only at Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut.
Programming. Show you I will. Show you I will. Show you I will.
You're my little bitch and you know it.
I want those plans. I've got a bad feeling about this.
You got a bad feeling about this.
So I am your father.
No! It's not true!
Oh yeah, it is, baby.
When Landau betrayed Han Solo and his friends, that's bad stuff. You know, there had to be a better way for him to save his city than doing that. I don't believe in betraying your friends and allies.
I started out making films when I was very young, and in the past several years I've really started to get into the whole realm of digital filmmaking. Sam Jackson's going to come in and he's going to get medieval on the piano player.
and I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger.
Anger leads to hate.
Basically 3 shorts. Quentin Tarantino's Star Wars. There's Godzilla vs. Disco Lando. Then the 3rd short is Kung Fu Kenobi's Big Adventure, where Ben Kenobi goes in to save Luke from the clutches of Jabba the Hutt. I'll basically rough storyboard the movie.
No, I'm not talking about this sequence. What's his motivation? I mean, let's go back.
Then I'll figure out what action figures I need.
We gotta use Chewbacca.
Then I'll build sets out of Legos. Karate chop, kick to the head, kick to the head, groin shot.
Okay, okay.
I'll film the sequence, stop action, using the camcorder and the computer. The movie is then compiled and edited and made into a version which we can then put on the internet and let everyone see. Action figures are easier to control than actors. Actors cost too much. Actors have too many demands. My favorite character is Lando.
All right, all right, all right. You know, seeing you sure brings back a few things.
Well, everyone knows there's nothing funnier than a gay alien. The whole backstory on Yoda is pretty involved, but Yoda had some digestive problems. I can't say exactly where I came up with these ideas. They just came to me.
One fella asked, what do I collect? And I said, well, if it's got Star Wars on it, I want it. My oldest daughter, Deanna. I didn't want to spoil her, so I did not buy her the Harrison Ford 12-inch doll. Later on, it was difficult to find. It was a pursuit of that doll, I think, that got us into the collecting. It grew from there. It's going to be a blockbuster movie, the best. And I expect the spending will increase shortly as the new toys come out. My problem is, too, I can't buy just one. You got to have one to open, you got to have one in the card, you got to have an extra to trade, and if they're really neat, maybe you better buy 2 or 3 more to put away and trade with later. There's just people all over the world you can trade with. It's just fun.
I'm a Sith. It's about knowledge. It's about your mind.
My mind.
It's about the dark side. 2,000 years ago, the Sith rose up using the power of the dark side to rise up against the Jedis and destroy them and all their friends. Nobody tells you this. The red and black man don't have his place in history. My forefathers, they lost focus, got off the path. Master killed servant, master killed master, till they were all gone. It was a bloodbath. They got greedy and got high off the fumes of the dark power. Just a taste is enough to destroy the essence of the weak mind. There can only be 2. Only be 2, B. Power in numbers.
Star Wars led me to Star Wars action figures. A world of an action figure was all about imagination, and which is pretty much how I make my living now.
I think I was like one of the last people in this nation to see it, you know, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, I loved the first Star Wars that I went to see, you know, like the concept of the Force and all that.
Funny story is, I was actually playing with action figures an hour before I went to my senior prom, I was 18, which is very strange. Nobody ever told me it was wrong. I mean, my whole family never really talked about it.
there may be more to Natalie Portman's character than meets the eye, and that's because I'm told that in the movie she's cloned, and all of her handmaidens that wait on her, I guess she's some sort of royalty, everybody that waits on her is an actual clone of Natalie Portman. See, they can do that with digital technology now, and they don't have to pay her 1,000 times.
I heard that Natalie Portman had to redub practically all of her lines because her voice changed.
Natalie Portman, for instance, who's 17 years old, was asked what she remembered about the first Star Wars movie, and she, you know, we found out that she had never seen Star Wars until she got signed for this part.
Princess Leia, I think, is a great representative of women in the military. Women are part of the military. They did a great job for me over in Desert Storm, and I think Princess Leia may have been one of the first women in the military.
The way he looks at Chewbacca, I kind of wonder.
I think Luke Skywalker was kind of bitchy, like kind of whiny, but I don't think he was gay.
Well, that was his sister, you know, so who knows? Yeah, dude. Incest.
Possibly bisexual.
I really don't know, but I hope so, to make it more interesting. I'd go see it even more if it was.
Definitely. His wardrobe was too tight. Yeah, he's totally gay. No way. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
He fell in love with me when he got his Star Wars tattoo.
We would go out on dates where we went to toy shows.
We started talking on the phone.
I was into the movie because there were a couple of cute guys in it.
They had a cake decorated in Star Wars.
I walk over and here's this big, huge cake with Yoda on it. She's the one that thought of that, not me, and that's pretty impressive.
Actually, we had to move from one apartment to another because of my collection now.
As he just kept collecting things, I started thinking, oh, what have I gotten myself into?
My collection's in 2 separate storage spaces.
It's taken over the basement.
When we get a house, it'll all come out of the woodwork. I still can't get her in the gold bikini.
No.
And then he talked me into wearing the Leia costume.
They might come out with that Slave Leia bikini by then.
We're gonna have a little Jedi.
Odds are, with our luck, you know, we'll be in the movie theater and she'll go into labor.
But we don't know names yet.
No, I'm not going to miss the movie. I can't miss that.
Padme.
Yeah, maybe Amidala.
No Jabba.
Definitely not.
No Weequay or any of those names like that.
When I go into labor, he'll be at the movies, and I just need to page him and let him know what I had.
Okay, I'm only going to say this once. I played an evil Jedi in The Phantom Menace. I wore black latex body armor. I had blue makeup on my face. Even I never got to see an entire script. I only got parts of the script day by day on a disc. All the actors on the set, we would try to get together and piece together this script. And one of our executive producers used to laugh at us. I would always walk off the set in makeup. So what I would have to do is I would have to wear a mask, sort of like this. So no one would know what my makeup looked like and no one would know who I was. You'll believe what I got from the set. A piece of Anakin Skywalker's spaceship. Unfortunately, it's a really big piece. So I really was worried about getting this through customs in Africa and in the United States. So what I did was I stuck it in the bottom of my suitcase. If I get caught talking to you guys right now, I could be sued for breach of contract because I signed a non-disclosure or confidentiality agreement. Really, I can't do anything else. I'm sorry.
Okay, some Lucas laws. Theaters can only begin playing the 2-hour and 11-minute film at 12:01 a.m. on May 19th. And they also have to reupholster the seats with Ewok fur. I don't know why, but they have to. In competitive zones, where more than one exhibitor has theaters, the film must play on at least 3 screens, or they will be tortured. Hey, I don't make the rules, man. Lucas makes it. There's some other facts here, but they're boring. I'm boring, aren't I? Aren't I? Okay. All right, I'll stop now. I'm gonna make a move. Let's go talk to you.
What I heard was that Lucas originally wanted C-3PO to have a Brooklyn accent, so it sounded like Barbra Streisand, because it already looks like Barbra Streisand.
But the strangest piece of Star Wars gossip I've heard to date has to be the one surrounding the character of Boba Fett. And that story has to do with the fact that Boba Fett might actually be a woman. And I thought, you know, that would lend a whole new meaning to that scene in the Star Wars Special Edition trilogy where Boba Fett goes over and sort of hits on that dancing girl. Who thought that after all these years under Boba Fett's armor, it might be Ellen DeGeneres?
Here's some gossip. In Star Wars, Carrie Fisher couldn't wear a bra with her Princess Leia outfit, so instead she used gaffer tape to keep her breasts from bouncing as she ran. You hear that, Pamela Lee? Gaffer tape. Not expensive reductions. Gaffer tape. It's really cheap.
I again warn you, please turn down the volume unless you want the movie spoiled. After watching Kika-Jin die, Obi-Wan Kenobi attacks Darth Maul and severs his lightsaber in two. Maul then throws Obi-Wan to the edge of the platform and kicks his saber down into a molten pit. Obi-Wan flips back up onto the walkway and uses the Force to get his dead master's lightsaber and finally defeat Maul.
It's all about Boba Fett. Boba Fett is the coolest character ever made.
I saw it at a Saturday morning screening in the Fox lot. Was working as an assistant to a producer.
We had little Boba Fett clubs, and he was definitely the best character in Star Wars.
I announced the next morning that I thought I saw what was to me the biggest movie of all time. And of course, I was told that I was a moron, and what did I know about anything in show business? I just should keep my mouth shut.
Rebel base, stay on target. I did hit, fighter.
The Force is strong with this one.
Stay on target, stay on target.
You take a little butter.
It's just gonna be you and me.
And make it all real nice.
Red leader, front to back.
Add a little bit of the Force, and it feels all right.
We gonna make it up. 5, red 5, stand by.
Yeah! All right, kids, let's blow this thing and go home, all right?
Stay on target.
Darth Vader is the betrayer and destroyer, the embodiment of pure evil. The Black Knight in the Arthurian tales, Sauron from The Lord of the Rings, and Doctor Doom. In the early drafts of the screenplay, he was actually two distinct figures. One, General Darth Vader, and the other, Prince Valorum, the Black Knight. Then Darth Vader became a bounty hunter who was hired by the Emperor to hunt down and destroy the Jedi Knights, not unlike Boba Fett. Finally, he became Darth Vader, the Sith Lord, with Kane Starkiller's exoskeleton to help him survive near-fatal injuries.
Now, I don't think robots have any place in the military at all. You know, it's very, very important that people are human beings out there, that they use their brain and they're not just reacting mechanically. So it's very, very important that we have the human element in there, both the brain and the heart.
Let me just tell you a couple things, okay? I am from Star Wars. Do you understand me?
Oh, yes.
Okay, you guys are from Star Trek.
Yeah.
All right? I will use the Force. I am ready to fight any of you right now. Let's go. Whoa, whoa. They got those fancy gadgets that make lights and stuff like that and scare me. All right, so what are you guys doing here? What are you doing walking the boulevard dressed up like freaks?
We're here from Scotland.
My name is Aaron Proctor. I'm a big Boba Fett fan. This is who I am. I started the Boba Fett fan club. The Boba Fett fan club, people love Boba Fett. There's more than 10,000 people on the mailing list. George Lucas is a figure like Boba Fett. Is he really a villain or is he a hero? He's not going to be in The Phantom Menace. Boba Fett would definitely be in Episode 2. Jeremy Bulloch had played Boba Fett. So I wrote to him. He helps out a lot with the website now. What's so ironic about that is that Boba Fett is this menacing, mysterious dark character. But the people I've met who've played Boba Fett are absolutely incredible. They're the most interesting, coolest, the nicest people I've ever met.
I've got some more spoilers from The Phantom Menace. If you don't want the movie ruined, turn down your volume and watch the visual treats we've provided. While before the Jedi Council, Kikijin asks that Anakin become his new apprentice. Obi-Wan is insulted at being dismissed so easily. The Council agrees to test Anakin, but after sensing fear in him, they forbid him to be trained.